One of the most important positions that I'm hiring for right now and will likely be hiring for at all times in the future is an associate or senior associate in our dispute resolution department. This is somebody who is not doesn't identify as a transactional lawyer, and is perhaps 2 to 10 years out, in their law practice. Somebody who has substantial experience with litigation in the Circuit Court of Cook County. If you happen to be somebody who knows about practice in the Chancery Division, specifically the Mechanics, Lien, and Mortgage Foreclosure section, that would be a huge bonus. But, table stakes for a senior associate in the Dispute Resolution Department is going to be the ability to take great depositions on your own, the ability to, with a certain amount of supervision from more senior lawyers, after we have the plans, the litigation strategy set, after we understand the reason that we're going to be filing a motion and why we're going to be filing it. I'm looking for somebody that has the judgment and the experience and the writing ability and the attention to detail that is so important to our firm to be able to run with it, right? So if we talk about a motion to dismiss and we say that it's 2615, 2619 combined, and we are going to be attacking the pleading on its face in certain respects, and we're going to be using affidavits to attack the pleading on other grounds, I'm looking for a lawyer that is going to be able to understand, what is necessary to go out. And, when we're just doing a 2615 motion, that understands, what are the limitations on the kind of arguments that we can make. I'm looking for a lawyer if we talk about doing a motion for summary judgment or a 2619 motion who is going to understand the sort of affidavits and other information that we're going to need to get to support the motion. So this is somebody who is going to, with an amount of supervision that is appropriate for their level of practice, be able to run with it. And so, if you're a senior litigator, if you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years out, then, the expectation is that I'm going to learn from you, and you're going to learn from me, and we're going to have an open door policy where we're going to strategize. But for the most part, if you're a very senior lawyer, the expectation is that you're going to operate largely independently and that you're going to be able to win. By doing a great job for our clients and really caring about the quality of your work product, and giving that slavish attention to case law and the rules of civil procedure and the Supreme Court rules, and an understanding of the facts, and, really working for quality. If you are more of a mid-level litigator, maybe you're 5 years out or something like that, the expectation is that there's going to be more handholding. And it might be the case that, we'll talk about what a complaint looks like, and what kind of counts we're going to bring and why we're going to bring them. And, it might be that you go off and you draft a first draft and we sit together and we review it. And we get better together. Right. And so as you get to be more on the junior side in our litigation department, what's going to be really important, and I make this analogy elsewhere in these videos about how, people who are committed to their craft as lawyers, it's kind of like pushing a snowball uphill. Right. And you start with a tiny snowball at the beginning of your career and you push it uphill every day. And it grows and grows and grows in size until, you retire and you've pushed this giant snowball, which of course is an analogy for the knowledge and experience that you gain over time. If you are, more of a mid-level litigator and you've got, your snowball pushed uphill for 5 years or so and you know what to do, but you need a little bit more supervision, you're going to get it from me, you're going to get it from more senior lawyers around here. You might be asked to go do a first draft. And then come back and learn. But this is what's really important, especially as you get to be more junior around here. If you're 5 years or so or less of practice, this is really important for you to understand, and it's unlikely that you'll succeed around here if you don't. If we sit down and we work together on a first draft of a motion, and whether it's me or another senior lawyer around here who helps you to understand what is necessary to improve the pleading, the motion, maybe it's a letter, that you are not just going to accept the red line track changes and move ahead with that assignment, but you are going to take with you in your own wiki, your own knowledge base, the learning that you gained in the process of sitting with a more senior lawyer. If we go through a motion and we say that we're always going to start every motion with a first paragraph this way, citing all the rules that are in play, and I explain to you the reason that we do that, the expectation is that I'm never going to see a motion again that doesn't follow that process. If we sit down and we work together on writing a letter, and I or a senior lawyer around here helps you understand the virtue of defining all the definable terms at the beginning of the letter so that you can efficiently write the rest of the letter, that's not just something that you're being taught for your particular task at hand. This is something that we expect you to go back to your office and however you are tracking this information, to take notes. This is what a good motion looks like. This is what a good complaint looks like. This is what a good DEP outline looks like, okay? And you will be expected to take the learning that you are realizing by working with more senior attorneys and internalize it and carry it forward with you in everything else that you do. Your snowball is going to get a little bit bigger every day if you dedicate yourself to your craft. You know, there's some people that, you know, they just walk uphill for the course of their career and they don't enjoy it very much and they never push their snowball and they never get better and they never learn because they're not committed to their craft. If that is the sort of lawyer that you are, then don't apply because you're not going to succeed here. But if you're a senior lawyer that wants to work in a really good environment, that has something to teach me, that is willing to learn from what I have to teach, or a more mid-level lawyer that has substantial ability in court and has substantial ability to take DEPs and to run with cases with a moderate amount of supervision and is committed to getting better and to taking what you learn on every client engagement and tucking it away, not in some, yeah, sure, that's what we do. I'm going to get better all the time. But I mean, if you are committed to keeping your own notes, keeping your own wiki, keeping your own processes, truly recording what you're learning so you never lose it, your snowball gets bigger and you can deploy it for every other time that you are going to have to call upon knowledge from that same situation, then that's the kind of lawyer that I'm looking for. And listen, if you just got your bar card, you're newly licensed, and this is sounding good to you, let me tell you what, I am the beneficiary of outstanding mentoring in my life, in my career. I stand on the shoulders of giants. I wouldn't have the practice or the firm that I do if I wasn't lucky enough to have great people that took the time to really invest in me. But I reciprocated that by trying to learn every day. And I understood that when I sat in a partner's office for an hour and the strategy was laid out and the strategy is X, Y, and Z, I knew that I was not free to just pay attention to X and Y and forget about Z. Okay? I also knew that when I had a motion that was substantially redlined or a letter that was substantially redlined, and I had the benefit of one of these great mentors that's going to sit there and tell me, this is the reason, Jeremy, that we have to change this to make it better. That lawyer, he or she was not just telling me how to get to the finish line on that particular assignment. I knew that he or she was giving me the knowledge that I need to be successful in every other instance where I have to execute on the same task. So if you are a young lawyer and you are willing, okay, and you have the desire to work very closely with more senior lawyers, and you understand this idea of pushing your tiny snowball uphill every day to make it bigger over time, it being the analogy for your law practice. So you, like me, when you're 20 years out, have developed a certain level of knowledge and experience, okay, then please apply. we can work closely together. I would love to mentor you. I'd love to bring you along. But I need to ensure that you are committed to taking what I am going to try to teach you as a very young lawyer and internalize it so that I don't have to reteach those lessons again and again and again in the future. If you are willing to do that, if you are interested in an opportunity to be mentored by somebody who is really keen on systems and processes and continual learning, if you're looking to find a home at a law firm with a great culture and a casual environment that is determined to improve the lives of our employees and their families through great client service, if you're looking for an opportunity to find a job that you can keep for 10 or 20 or more years, this might be the place for you. So if you're not the 9 people out of 10 who have already been turned off by what you're hearing on this hiring page, if you're the 1 in 10 who's hearing this message resonate, then please consider joining our litigation department, because we have substantial opportunities for a wide variety of litigators at a wide variety of places in their career to grow and to have a lot of fun doing it at this law firm.